Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our beloved viewer. It's your program once again, Health Check, a program where we bring medical experts to give us advice regarding the good living of our lives. The topic of discussion today is obesity. And what is obesity? In as far as it is concerned, this is what I managed to find out. It is also called corpulence or fatness, excessive accumulation of body fat, usually caused by the excess calories, excessive calories than the body can use. Remember, calories are useful to the body, but we have to consume what the body needs, not beyond its need. The excess use of calories are then stored as fats. Hope I'm not obese. I have a Dr. Asimwe Bravo to take us through the topic of discussion today. In as far as I understand obesity, that is what I managed to conquer from the research sources that I managed as a layman. How can you define obesity for my fellow layman outside there to understand?
Well, I would say hello to the viewers. Then, coming back to your question, thank you very much. When you talk about obesity, as we are looking medically, we say it is a medical condition where there is accumulation of fat or accumulation of weight that can result into any body-related or any related illnesses at the end of the day. So you've accumulated a lot of weight, accumulated, maybe you have this mass that you've gained, but it can be a health problem at the end of the day. Okay. So that is what we look at. But majorly we look at what we call body mass index. This is a measurement that we do to help us tell whether one is obese or not. Because we measure your weight in terms of, we put it in kilograms, then divided by your height in meters squared. Okay. Then what we get as a result, that is a body mass index. Okay. So if someone gets above 35 going up, that means you're obese. Under that we have different classes, as we shall see. Okay.
When you look at me, am I obese?
Not just looking at the person and then you say obese, but you're not.
How can one tell that he is obese? What are the signs and symptoms?
How can one tell that they are obese? One, we look at the weight first. But not everyone who is having much weight, we say that they are obese. But at the end of the day, how has it accumulated? When we get now to find someone is very fat, but they are short. In most instances, at the end of the day, you're going to find that person is obese. Or others have accumulated weight all over. Or some, the back can be heavy, or can be that much. Tummy, all the arms are big. Someone, not just saying huge. But what majorly concern it is, after doing our measurement, how can we easily do? But again, with obesity, there are certain things that come in place. Because you may find someone get issues with sleeping, what we call destructive sleep apnea. This is either it is partial or it can be blocked. You're sleeping, somewhere after a few minutes you feel like you're gasping for air. So someone wakes up immediately because they are like almost dying. Okay. It means there must be something. You've accumulated a lot of mass. If it is within the neck, that means as you're sleeping, all that weight, it is almost falling on your trachea. So ending up blocking it, or partially blocking it. That is one. We are also having the other certain condition that develop after. You've been okay, but since you've accumulated this weight, Now you're having issues, let's say your blood pressure comes up. You're doing something, you have a lot of palpitation. You used to move upstairs. Now you make 2 steps. Someone is tired, they feel restless. So all these things show us that we are going past where we are heading to. And they are more common in obese people.
Okay.
Again, our eating habits. You're eating more than what you used to do, even when you're accumulating more of the weight. Because at the end of the day, your body needs more energy and or what we call nutrients. So this accumulated weight that has come in, it comes in with cells that have come up. So cells that grow also need to be fed. So at the end of the day, you will need more. You're already fat, someone is overeating again. Because that appetite is already high, even when they are having, the weight is going on. Today you're adding, every day you're adding almost, let's say every a week you check 2 kgs, you've added 5.
Within a week you've added 3 kgs.
Yes.
Just simply because you're overeating.
Yeah, then again, some of other conditions can bring it, some people to be like that.
Okay.
Because if, let's say, we look at a pregnant mother, she needs more than what she used to take. So at the end of the day, even after the pregnancy, she might continue and end up being obese. So we majorly look at some of those. But more so when we see our weight has gone up, yet the height, remember, you reach a certain extent, it can't go past that. But when we look, we make a measurement and then we divide them, we go past the normal, what we call a normal, that is around, if we take at 25 to 30. But 25 to 30 to some people, that is what we term a little bit of what we say overweight. However much they have not reached the obese. But as you continue, all these things that come up with obesity, they start appearing.
There are some hours where one does not need to eat too much. There are some hours, let's say from 6 or from 5 or 7 in the evening, that is PM, one is not required to eat too much food. How right is that?
Food is important, but if you misuse food, again, it can be a problem to you. So at the end of the day, why am I eating this food? It is what makes it good or bad.
Okay.
You can't go take a full plate of posho as you're going to sleep. You're just obtaining much energy that you're not going to use. And that energy that has come in as carbohydrates, and our bodies have a mechanism. They can change it into fat so that they want to store it. At the end of the day, for you're gaining weight, you're asking yourself why. But if you eat, let's say, that food in the morning, that's why you say breakfast is more important. Or at lunchtime, when you're going to work, someone is going to make bricks. They eat the posho. It means that this moment you are using the energy they've gotten from the posho to use. But at night, what are you going to do? Over the night, most of the hours you're going to spend them sleeping. So that energy, you're using it for what? Yeah, that's why even more times I wonder when I see people, you're going to sleep, they're taking an energy drink. To do what? So that is what you say bad eating habits.
Okay.
And then those hours, what you're going to do, it is what matters. Unless if it is a healthy diet you've been put on by, say, a doctor or a nutritionist, that is what you can allow, maybe eat. Now this time you find you're eating this and this, but still, I don't see the reason as why you would buy much of carbohydrates, energy-giving foods when you're going to sleep. So that's why at that time we say no. It's much better take maybe more of the vegetables and fruits or snacks, something that is just to help you go through the night. Yeah, that is
okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. You know, normally it's a norm here. This program is for the benefit of our viewer, and we sometimes connect to them to see what they have to share with us. They are following, and I'm going to ask my production team to see who of our viewers they have for us today. I'm connecting to you, team.
My name is Mufumba Salim from Mengo, and I have 2 questions. My first question is, how can I prevent myself from being a victim of obesity? Because I have seen so many victims. And another question is, can obesity lead to cancer? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mufumba from Mengo. As I look at Mufumba, I don't see any signs of obesity in him, but he is worried. How can he prevent himself from the obesity? We'll tackle that one later. Let's go to the last question that he asked. He had to, can it cause cancer?
Yes, but he said that I see. So he's worried, like you're saying. Obesity is linked to cancers because at times we see some different types of cancers.
Sure.
It is linked because at the end of the day, obesity as it comes in, we have what you call endocrine disorders. Endocrine, these are secret hormones that are coming to our bodies. So most times, now for example, let's say someone is eating that much, there is, let's say, an endocrine disorder, and then there is less or slow of digestion. Most times we've seen it being linked to what we call gastric cancers that come up. We have chronic cancer, it can be cancer of the stomach, cancer of the small or large intestines, and even more others, because if there is anything that is going to alter how our body are working, it may result into something. Now, when we say the cancer, it is outgrowth. These cells are proliferating at a high rate. So if it brings to that, because remember in obesity, you're gaining weight. There's what we call fat cells. So these fat cells that are in, they are multiplying within our body. So as they multiply, like I said, the term cancer, it simply means increase in cells, abnormal increase in cells. If it so happens anywhere, then you're going to have cancer. So we say it is linked to some many types of cancers. So most of them are within the digestive, skin, but majorly there is an increase in fat cells. So that increase, or what you call...
So the more increase in any type of cells can lead to cancer?
Yeah, not all. For example, we have what you call gastric or gut flora. We have a normal bacteria living in our stomachs or small intestines. So at the end of the day, if it proliferates, it becomes more than what is supposed to be there. So what do you expect? It means I have an outgrowth already within me, and that one now can invade you. So it can also lead to what we call apoptotic markers. This is like programmed cell death. So when it comes in, at the end of the day, it is me, my body attacking still my body within there. So we might have now a cancer as a result. So there are many things that link it, but obesity is linked to some types of cancer.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. And I hope, Brother Mufumba from Mengo, you have liked the doctor's explanation, because it's quite convincing and understandable. Yes, it can lead to cancer. So keep your worry of knowing the preventive measures of obesity, which we shall discuss later in the program. He had two questions. Actually, prevention question was the first one. But before we go to that, I need you to let our viewer know, are there any types of obesity?
When you talk about types, I'll tell you how do we classify obesity.
Okay.
So like I was telling you, we use what you call body mass index. After making our measurements, weight in kilograms divided by height in meters squared. Those who are under, after dividing, what we get, a weight it is now below 18.5. Those ones we say they are underweight. We are coming to the other one. Now from 18 to 25, this is what we term as our normal weight. Then from 25 to 30, that is what we call overweight. Now from that, we are joining to what we call, because we are from overweight, we are joining now to what we call obesity. In this case, from 30 to around 35, that is what we call class 1 obesity. So that is one type.
Okay.
Then from 35 to 40, now that is what we call class 2 obesity, or we can say severe obesity or modible obesity. So we are looking at that now. Obesity is increasing. That is class 2. So there are two types now. Then we also have above 40. There are people who are, when you divide, they are in 50s. Now this is what we call super obese or class 3 obesity. So those are the three classifications that we have as obesity, and we can take them as our three types of obesity.
Okay, doctor, before we go to the second question of our brother Mufumba, I have a lot of questions regarding obesity. What could be the causes of this?
So what could be the causes of obesity? From the explanations you've heard, how we termed it, it is something in regard to weight. So what are the causes to obesity? One, we have what we call food practices comes in. Nutrition, how eating a balanced diet. Because some people, at the end of the day, like we say, we love junk food, snacks you eat, but after taking it, do you again go on and eat others? So at the end of the day, that poor feeding practice, someone is taking a lot of calories here. At the end of the day, we are going to gain much energy. When you have much energy that we cannot use, it will be turned into fat. Fats, when they come up, or triglycerides, as we term it the other side, at the end of the day, we are going to form an increase in cells. When an increase in cells, that means we are increasing in size. That is one. So you might end up becoming obese. Number two, some people, it is genetic, it is within the family line. My mother, let's say, has, even the father, or to my father also, they have someone who is having it. We are carrying a gene, what we call gene. So that is a genetical line. So at the end of the day, it means you, who is a product of all those, you have a chance of getting obese because there is a gene that is running within the family. Exercise is more important because in this case, we are going to reduce on the weight.
Okay.
As I was describing the BMI or body mass index, you saw you're in 35. If you exercise, you may reduce it. Now you come to 30. Now that is what we call overweight. If you manage the other one, you can still come back. But it is just a sedentary life. You're attached from food, let's say to work. In work, you're in office, you just sit. From there, sit in your car, go home. You're watching TV, eating. So your life is just there, not making even a single moment of exercising. So exercising, physical exercise is also part of this. Then others are just within our body. One, it could be what you call endocrine disorders. When I talk about endocrine, I'm talking about hormones. So most times if we have any, let's say we are taking it food, but that food is not being used, or we are releasing a lot of what is a cortisol enzyme that comes from the adrenal cortex. So it causes stress. We call them stress hormones. In that they are just going to tell your body to do a lot of, or to increase the rate of metabolism. So when they increase the rate of metabolism, it means at the end of the day I need to eat because my cells are demanding for much. So within the process, if you don't again exercise, do on the other three we've already seen, you end up becoming obese. Others could be medical conditions. There are people who are having psychiatric issues or mental health issues. Don't think this person is going to follow up a good eating habit. So it is also, it can be a cause, it can be a predisposing factor.
Okay.
Then another thing around there, we see majorly looking at some medications, because some people will just take. When I talk about medications, I'm also including the ones that abuse them. They just take, but they don't mind about doing other things at the end of the day. So assume someone takes and then they become mentally sick. It is already coming there.
Doctor, now let's turn to my brother Mufumba's question.
Okay.
He had to remember, how can he prevent obesity? That was his worry.
How can we prevent obesity? Prevention here is simple, looking at the causes.
Okay.
What causes it? So you avoid,
what
causes. We talked about physical exercises. So exercising is important. That is, I always advise my clients, or our patients, or people I meet, 30 minutes walk 4 times a week is important. That is enough exercise. I don't need to go to the gym and do. You're already using your body. So exercise is important. That is also because it brings in the factor of losing weight. So we also need to lose weight. So some people are going there. Then watch our eating habits.
We should avoid
diet.
Junk foods.
When you say avoid, some people, they don't get us right. That's why some people may go, you find he's a vegetarian, but they don't know. So when you say, we don't say avoid completely. If you can, it's better. But the most important thing is reduce. So learn, because you can, someone who is used to
actually the word speaks itself. Yes. Balanced diet.
Balanced. Now they also say reduce slowly. So you come to know. You see, yes. Even you love what you get at the end of the day. So eating, sin, reducing on weight, that is physical exercises. Then another thing that we need to do at the end of the day, let's say there are some things we cannot easily avoid. For example, if it is in the family, in the genes, and you see maybe the children, what they are getting into that, get the information from us. But even these 3 practices that I've given you, they are the most important here that can still help the other person not to get, though it has been within the family life. Those are some of the things that we
let's
need to look at.
Assume I didn't know this, what you are sharing with us today. I didn't know, because some of our viewers out there, that they might be obese already.
Yes.
Assuming I didn't know this information, is it treatable?
Well, obese, when you talk about treatment, you see, most cases you want, if you get a wound, I'm just giving it as an example.
Yes.
You get a cut, you want, when any medical person applies a drug or they tell you take this to heal immediately, which might not be the case. But at the end of the day, you can get it healed. The same thing applies when we are treating obesity. One, because treating obesity, we are majorly first, we come in to give medication to do the rest when it becomes, or it is starting to cause other complications. But there are medications that are there. Maybe they can give you, for example, someone is having an issue within the GI or the digestive system. That is, if there is slow metabolism or digestion, or at times maybe there is any issue along the way, they can give you medication to stabilize that. We also have, there are surgeries that are made.
Okay.
In this case, because we need to reduce the mass that you're having, the fat, so they remove the fat. For example, the abdomen might be having a fat, and then it is extracted out. So they reduce on the fat cells, even the fat mass that you're having. But again, after that, on our treatment, it is always 2 ways. We have what you call pharmacological and non-pharmacological. When I say pharmacological, I mean where we use medication, surgeries, and the rest. The non-pharmacological is you, the person. This is now, after all that, there is a message that is given to you. Exercise, eat, and that is the treatment that we have. And others. So don't think we just jump off today and then you get drugs. I hear slimming tablets, what? But those are the most important things that we do.
Okay.
Others come as a by the way. But those are the most important, maybe 5, 6.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. Before I wrap up today's program, do you have any concluding remarks to our viewers?
concluding remarks. Before we finalize onto that, we have to know about some of the complications that are brought in.
Okay.
So the
Very
complications that are brought in by obesity, I group them into two. We have what you call increase in fat mass. So when you have an increase in fat mass, it means there are other effects that are going to come with it, and these are the following. Number one, we have what you call osteoarthritis. Now, osteoarthritis is we are having a lot of weight put on our leg joints. For example, the legs. So if we are having it there, what is going to happen is there is stress caused to the joint. At the end of the day, we have what you call collagen fibers there. So if they don't form and there is a fluid formed, we already have stress on it. There is a fluid there, it becomes osteoarthritis. We also have, because like we saw, it can easily bring us to some other cancers. That is if there is an increase in fat cells. We have heart conditions. There is what we call non-alcoholic fat liver. All these things are going to come up because of obesity. Heart conditions, these diseases, hypertension, atherosclerosis, these things, accumulation of fat that make plugs within the blood vessels. So there are many things that can come up with
this. Brings me to a question of the life expectancy. Does obesity shorten one's life?
Yes, it does. Because if you're to look at things that come with obesity, those are the complications. If you have talked about, if you get hypertension, you can look at the complications of hypertension. Because there is an increase in fat, we have a hormone that we call insulin. Insulin is used now to regulate our blood glucose levels. So if we have an increase in fat, it means we are putting like a broken, there is resistance that comes with insulin being used. At the end of the day, we get what you call insulin resistance, and that is type 2 diabetes. Now you're having diabetes again.
Okay.
So you see, it is moving us to conditions that can easily reduce. We talked about cancer. All these are life reducing or reducing life expectancy of the person. There is something when we are discussing, we talked about, for example, this person, after accumulating all that fat, at the end of the day, there are some activities even what they are not going to do. How I easily move with my weight, the other person may not do. So in the end of the day, we also have what you call social stigmatization. Because people will be like, hey, look at that big man, he's like a giant. Already feeling those words, and then some people can end up even committing suicide because they feel like they are disowned by a community. So there are so many things that come with obesity.
Doctor, time won't allow us to mention all of them. Thank you so much. Thanks for always honoring our invitations. And the next time we come to you, please respond just like you have responded in the previous episodes. Come and share those words of wisdom, those words that can save many lives out there. Please do not hesitate to come and help. Thanks a lot. My advice to you will be only one. We respect medicine so much, but we do not entertain it. We do not like it, but we respect it. Whenever the doctors tell us you have to take 2 tablets at this time, we do follow that. But remember, food is the first medicine. Just like you take or respect the measures of the medicine that you have to take, you have to respect, just like the doctor has told us, the measures of the food you have to eat. Balance the food you are eating. If you do not take food to be medicine, you will eat medicine as food. Lastly, do more exercise as you eat. Do more exercise as you eat. I cannot go beyond this for today. I remain your host, Nambale Bashir, and until we meet in the next episode, inshallah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.